So imagine, you're up late one night doing homework. You're super tired and you'd really rather be doing anything else. Maybe sleeping, eating cookies, or petting a really soft, snuggly doggy at this time. I don't know. As you pull out your phone to write a really relatable tweet about how much you hate high school, you feel your stomach starts to hurt. Really bad. You run to the bathroom and find yourself reviewing everything you've eaten since breakfast. What's making you throw up? No, it's not AP Environmental. You know what it is? It's dirty drinking water. Now, chances are you just went to the faucet, filled up a glass of water, and drank it without even thinking, but do you know, is that water gray water, groundwater, gravitational water? Is it water from a radioactive monkey's butt, or the sewers of Disney World? So if you stick around for 5 minutes, I'll tell you everything you need to know about water for Monday's APES exam. Except Disney World, we actually won't be talking anymore about Disney World. I'm sorry. Remember in 3rd grade when we learned about the water cycle? Well, it's actually on the APES exam. So in case you've forgotten about it, here's a nifty little song for you.
Around the earth, the water cycle takes the water and moves it up and down and all around the earth.
Evaporation comes when the heat from the sun warms up all the groundwater, then it turns to water vapor. Condensation takes over, it goes up to the clouds. Water vapor cools down and it changes to a liquid now. Precipitation happens when the drops get big. It falls like rain, snow, sleet, and hail upon my head. I know it's the water cycle happening again. Evaporation, condensation, precipitation.
The water cycle takes the water and moves it down and all around the earth. The water cycle takes.
Oh, but really, let's think about this. If water starts off in a puddle, the first thing it goes through is evaporation. And evaporation is just water turning into water vapor. Then, during condensation, the water just kind of chills up in the cloud and gets really lazy and really heavy until one day it just drops, just like Umber's mixtape. And as you probably know, this is called precipitation. After precipitation is infiltration, which is the last one in the water cycle before it starts again. Infiltration is when the water goes through the soil right before it gets evaporated. Anyways, back to puking. If you were throwing up because of dirty water, it's probably because of one of 3 different types of water. First being groundwater. And groundwater is the water that sinks into the soil and is stored in slowly flowing and slowly renewing underground reservoirs called aquifers. Then there's grey water. Grey water is any household wastewater with the exception of wastewater from toilets, which is instead known as black water. Gravitational water is water that moves through soil under the influence of gravity, imagine that, and must be removed from the soil before it can attain any field capacity.
I don't care about that. What happens to water when I'm not drinking it?
Dang it, middle school me, you need to know this. Come on now. When you're not drinking normal water, it might be going through something called channelization, which, no, not like TV channels. I mean channelization, which is the reconstruction of natural waterways so they flow in a different path. Oftentimes humans build dams to harness hydroelectric power to create kinetic energy for us to use. And now, my favorite segment. Say all the words that we couldn't come up with clever scenarios for before the sparkler runs out. Alright, so saltwater intrusion is the movement of saline water into freshwater aquifers, which can lead to contamination of drinking water sources and other consequences. This occurs naturally to a certain degree. Another one is water usage, which, imagine this, is the amount of water used by a household or country. The next is hydrogen bonding, the weak electrostatic attraction between molecules that happens between the hydrogen atom, and the negative electron atom. This bond is responsible for the water's properties. The next is an estuary, a partially enclosed coastal area at the mouth of a river where fresh water is carrying good silt and runoff from land, which mixes with salt water. The next is xeriscaping. The landscaping that's like a bunch of tiers that like reduces the need for irrigation. Oh my gosh. And the last two, finally, windward and leeward. Windward is the direction which the wind blows. Windward. Leeward, you're like leaning and facing the, it's the direction facing the wind, okay? You're like leaning towards the direction. Okay, did not think this through. I got a lot of time left. Anyway. This video was brought to you by Ayana Dudley, Callie Addington, Kate Burgess, and yours truly. Special thanks to Miss Cara Hubrid for prepping us for this exam. Can't wait to see you at 7:40 Monday morning.